Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and you guys know what time it is. Time to talk about current events in the online fitness community, and I did something a little bit different today. I don't normally delve outside of the normal fitness genre, lifting channels, things like that, because that's what I care about. I don't usually jump over into what I call hippie fitness, where they debate silly crap like vegan versus carnivore, and none of them lift, right? They're all weak, they're all tiny, none of them lift. None of them care about the stuff that most of us care about. But I just stumbled across one. It just came through my feed, and I just had to watch it. Never heard of this guy before. Don't have a context for the rest of what he does, but I watched his one video with his blood work. It's a guy called Vegetable Police. And he's a former vegan, like vegan of 9 years, who went carnivore, and then he's freaking out about his blood work. Let me go ahead and put on my +5 How to Speechcraft. Lovingly called my +5 Out of Autism by many of you, and let's talk about this. All right, brother, here's what I'm going to say. Just looking, you need to get yourself under a barbell. It's very clear when you deal with a lot of these people, though, that you see what they do, and it's always these really, really hippie stuff. He's talking about chakras and stuff. Look, chakras aren't real, okay? I'll give you a reality. Chakras aren't real. New Age hippie stuff isn't real. Okay, it's all make-believe stuff from the vegan world. And you have all these people who are messing with keto and carnivore and stuff who've come over from that bizarre world. And they're trying to discuss fitness and they're trying to discuss all of these things. And it's like they're still caught in the weird new age type nonsense that goes around veganism. Veganism is a cult. Okay, it's a cult. That's what it is. Where they believe in stuff like that. And they try to bring it over and then they freak out over the smallest things. And I think it's unfortunate because you have a guy like this and he's trying to do healthy stuff and he's letting himself fall apart. I've read on this thing, I think he's 37. Well, you're quite a bit younger than me. And I personally do a ketogenic style diet. I don't talk about nutrition a whole lot on here. I don't think there's a need to, because for most of us out there, unless you have specific needs or you're fine tuning things in your diet, like I've been successfully recomping right now, for most of us who are lifting, look, are you getting enough protein? Are you getting enough vegetables? And are you getting the calories you need? Okay. For most of us, that's what we need to be focusing on in terms of performance, body composition, everything else. It's a case of literally protein is your most important thing. And are you getting enough vegetables, and fill the rest of your calories however you feel that you need to and see fit. Now, in my case, that means I do a keto diet these days, and there are reasons for that. It has to do with inflammation control, diet adherence, things like that. And I simply know quite a few other masters, strength athletes such as myself, who get fantastic control of inflammation on a ketogenic style diet. And that is what it comes down to. That's a big factor. It lets us train with higher training volumes, with heavy weights, with our tendons getting less inflamed. Right? That matters. Makes a big deal. It matters tremendously for those of us who are serious about trying to be athletic once you break that age 40 and onward. And it's one strategy. And I'm not saying it's the best strategy for everyone. I would never say that it's a one-size-fits-all. I'm not saying that everyone who's over 40 who lifts hard should necessarily even do a ketogenic diet. It's one tool available. I like it. A lot of people like it. Works well for them. But you have to look at these different factors regarding your emotional attachments to food, the way you respond to food, things like that. There's a lot of factors. But for me, I enjoy it. I like it. It works well. And it's successful for me. So what I thought was interesting is that he jumped into a lot of stuff of talking about, look, well, I eliminated plants and did this carnivore thing. I don't know why you carnivore guys do that. It's like the carnivore diet from all these former vegans. They go so extreme from one extreme to another. They get caught up in this crazy ass dogma of veganism. And then what happens? They need to do the exact opposite. Instead of saying, okay, let me find a little bit better balance. And look, a lot of diets are going to be extreme. That's normal. A lot of people who have extreme goals or extreme personality are going to do extreme diets. I'm not even going to knock on that. But when you go all the way to the exact opposite extreme is a rejection of veganism. Look, we should reject veganism. It is ludicrous. It is ridiculous. And by the way, the vegans who come in here and defend that, I'm just going to hit the ban button. I don't tolerate y'all's nonsense in my channel. Take it elsewhere. You can start your own channels and make videos to talk about what I said. You don't get to say it in my comments. Now, you want to say my name and make a video, feel free to do so. Feel free to do so. But it's not going to be in my comments. I don't like veganism. Not going to be tolerated. So, that being said, over to the point. The guy's freaking out about his blood work and things that he shouldn't necessarily, but I'm also sitting here going, well, why didn't you train hard? Why didn't you lift weight? If you're talking about fitness and health, if you want peak fitness, why aren't you getting strong? Because you don't look like a lifter to me. You don't look like you lift. Get stronger, get under a barbell, go on a serious program, do my orc mode. My orc mode diet even is all ketogenic based diet. But get strong, and why would you ever cut out vegetables? I don't want to hear any excuse from this, well, it's an elimination. It's all right. Unless you have specific GI tract issues that need to be addressed with specific eliminations, and I can guarantee you there's very few of those, and you probably don't have them, to where you would need to cut out vegetables. Cutting out vegetables is just stupid. And I'm not saying, for people who want to do a carnivore type diet, that's fine. Look, carnivores eat green plants. Okay, watch a cat, watch a wild cat, watch wolves, watch coyotes. They eat green vegetation on top of meat. That's normal. That's what carnivores do. So to even ever go a week without eating green vegetables because you're doing a quote-unquote carnivore diet is beyond ignorant. It's beyond stupid. And it shouldn't even be entertained any more than veganism should be. So, I mean, to even go to that extreme shows that you're in that crazy vegan mindset still, right? You might need a therapist. So over to the point. He's freaking out about a few things that he shouldn't necessarily freak out about, and we should address those. The creatine levels. If you've been eating a lot of protein and you are exercising at all, that's going to go up. It's going to go up. But to actually not be doing anything that's too extreme in your diet, I don't know if you use any sort of drugs or anything on top of what you're doing, an alcoholic, things like that, unless you're dealing with those issues. Look, just eating a high protein diet is not going to cause dangerous levels of this, irrespective of what the blood work is. Go look at people like Dr. Jordan Feigenbaum talks about this. He talks about this quite a bit, that's actually not really a real concern when they test lifters who consume a high protein diet. Even he'll tell you that he knows, based on the blood work, as a practitioner himself, a medical doctor who is a power lifter, that it's not a cause for concern for someone who follows a high protein diet who is an active strength athlete or lifts at all. So I don't know if you're lifting or not, but maybe that's not quite the factor that you should be worried about. Again, I eat 300 grams of protein a day. My kidneys are fine. No issues at all. So I think that one was unwarranted for him to be worried about. Blood glucose is great. Hey, that's good. Some of his different hormones, he's like, oh, my thyroid, I'm not sure if it's good or not. Well, you're getting older. You're getting older. Your blood work is going to get progressively worse unless you improve your lifestyle. So you actually have to be doing better now than you did in your 20s if you want to even have the same blood work. Okay? A lot of your levels of different things are going to decline unless you have improved your lifestyle. They will not stay the same. It's called getting older. Again, you need to clean your stuff up, clean your life up. And again, I don't even know what you're doing over in Thailand. Not even going to speculate because he didn't say what he's into. So the point on some of that, it's not that big of a deal. As far as the lipid levels, it wasn't that bad. And quite frankly, he's freaking out about some things. And yes, LDL might be a concern. Yeah, his LDL was elevated. Is that a possible concern? Yes. What I would say, if you are concerned about it, you can go pay for the different tests. You can pay for the test to find out if it's the good or it's the benign or the dangerous form of LDL. Is that a possible concern? Yeah, it actually is. Go investigate it. Get further blood work. As far as the rest of your cholesterol, you had an enormous improvement. I mean, if you were to take your lipid profile as a whole and compare it to when you were a vegan, you were at a lower risk of cardiovascular disease, flat out. You doubled your HDL, which is the really good cholesterol. And then he said he wasn't sure about triglycerides. Triglycerides are worse than LDL. Like, if you had to pick one of those two things to be elevated, whether it's LDL or triglycerides, the LDL would be the lesser of two evils. Okay? Not saying there aren't problems or risks with that, but he cut his triglycerides in half and doubles his HDL. Okay, that's pretty good overall. But again, as far as the LDL goes, before you start taking a Lipitor or Crestor or any of those, again, I'm not a medical doctor. You can consult a doctor on this. Consult some doctors who specialize in this stuff. A lot of them might tell you maybe go find out for sure what sort of LDL you have before you go on a statin. I'm not saying that your doctor is wrong, get a second opinion and get some other blood work. Okay, that would be a good idea. But what I would say to a guy like this, you have to get out of this whole hippie mentality. Celery juice, lemon water, what in the hell are you talking about? Eat vegetables. I mean, even if you're going to do a meat-based diet, because I do a meat-based diet, eat vegetables every single day. And that doesn't mean juice. That doesn't mean you juice vegetables. What's the point? Like, I don't know why these hippies and people come up with stuff. You're going to juice celery. You're throwing away the fiber and the phytonutrient. What's the point? Just drink some damn water. Drink some salt water then, because that's what you're doing. What is it you think you're going to get from this? And he's saying, oh, I don't know, what else would I have to do to improve my health? Why aren't you eating vegetables? Why aren't you eating green vegetables every single day? Even if you're going to do a meat-based diet or in a ketogenic style diet, you need those things. No legitimate expert's going to disagree with that, even those who follow and utilize these sort of diets. Even serious athletes, elite athletes who follow meat-based, low-carb type diets all eat vegetables. And all of the registered dietitians who work with them tell them the same thing. You need to get out of hippie land, add some vegetables in, get on a real training program and start training correctly. That will help a lot of your stuff further. Put some muscle on because you're looking emaciated. You're getting older. You're 37. You need to put another 15, 20 pounds of muscle on is what you need to do before you further degenerate. All those years as a vegan, the guy weighed 140 something pounds as a vegan, was a vegan for 9 years, and he has no muscle mass. He's got all this sarcopenia happening. You need to stack some size on, brother. I have free programs here. Go check them out. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.